Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of our MPC 71 Dodge Demon build. We are starting today by standing back and polishing our 2K. So it's been about 6 days, which is more than enough time for 2K to cure. And we're going to stand back with 6 N8000 Trizac pads. That way we get rid of any dust or imperfections that may have landed in our 2K in the clear coat system. We'll sand it back and then polish up to a nice high shine using our Zoom On rotary polishing pads and our Menzerna compound. So we've got some water with some washing up liquid, Dawn dish soap, whatever you call it, washing detergent. With a little bit of water in there, that adds a bit of lube to our sanding pads. The Trizac pads are probably the best you'll get for doing 2K clear, or any clear for that matter. They're very, very efficient. We're not applying a lot of pressure at all. We really don't need to. The clear coat on this, probably good enough to be left on its own, but it always pays to sand back and polish it up because it always looks better once cleared. So keep the sanding pad nice and moist, and just work your way around the model until the whole thing is done, and then we'll dry it off and switch to the 8000. Then again, go all over and do this. Now remember, we can't do our satin finish parts we did in part 1, so they're going to have to be left alone, but anything cleared, which is basically the body and that front volant, we can do. So just take your time here, and the beauty of the 3Ms is you can go any direction, it doesn't scratch, but they're just super efficient. So just make sure you're careful and use any raised areas or edges where the paint's thinner. You don't want to be burning through and ruining all your hard work. But doing this will remove any imperfections in the clear, and it will also thin the 2K a little bit as well. A lot of people complain about the thickness of 2K. Now the Pro Scale 2K is absolutely fantastic. It dries really thin anyway. Following this step and polishing it up just adds to that look and makes it look a lot more realistic. So just take your time, a little bit of care and patience required here. Dry it off after each use, have a look at it, and if you're not happy, repeat. Once we're all sanded off, we've got our Proxxon rotary tool. We have our Zoom On polishing pads and adapter that we sell over on Pro Scale. We've got some Menzerna 25 and 3500 compounds. What we're going to do is going to put some on the body using our finger because it's the cleanest way to do it without it flapping around everywhere off the pads. I concentrate on the roof, the C-pillars, the boot and the bonnet first. Well, we haven't got a bonnet, but we've got the bonnet edges here first. So go over your finger and all down the back as well. And then wipe off any excess. And then on the lowest speed, which is about 5,000 RPM on the Proxxon, mine is foot operated. I have a pedal underneath, which makes life a lot easier. We're not going to apply a huge amount of pressure. We're just going to very carefully polish up all the body. So what we need to be careful of here again is the edges. We don't want to burn through, and we also don't want to catch the body with the hard plastic area of the actual tool that attaches to the Proxxon, because it is hard plastic and it will damage your paint. So very, very careful process here, working your way around. And don't linger too long on one part, especially on edges or raised bits, because you'll burn through quicker than you'll think. The compounds are very, very good from Menzerna. A bit more aggressive. If you're doing this by hand, I'd recommend the Ultimate Modeling Polish compound set. But going by tool, I would use Menzerna. Some with a bit more strength to it that is designed to be used with a power compounding sponge. Like I say, just work your way around, and again, you'd be surprised of the shine we get back just off this coarse compound as well, this medium compound. It will bring back a lot of the shine just after this very quick and easy going. Now by hand, this used to take me 3 hours, easily 3 hours doing this. It's a lot of elbow grease with your finger and your rubbing and what have you. That sounds disgusting, but it is. With the rotary tool and the polishing sponges, it's a game changer. And I just wish I'd started using this years ago. So there's the coarser of the compounds. Quick go over. I tend to go over each part at least twice. And as you can see, just off the coarser one, we've got a beautiful shine back already. So it's just going to get better and better with each subsequent finer polish. So just take your time and we'll work our way around the entire body until it's all done. An old toothbrush is handy here as well, because you are going to get polish in the panel line gaps. Again, another show of just how much thinner Pro Scale 2K clear dries, because most of the 2Ks I've used over the years always fill the panel lines, whereas the Pro Scale does not at all. The downside to that is you get polish trapped in them, and you have to use a toothbrush to get it out. So there we go, just a quick go over, and we'll start to get a beautiful shine back on that paintwork. So we'll go over the whole car with the 2500 to get the shine up, and then we'll go over with the 3500 with the blue polish and sponge, exactly the same. And as a final step, we've got our super resin polish mortar glim and the very fine pinky red sponge as a final go over. And this is where the true depth of your clear coat and the very nice polish job you've got will shine through. It will look absolutely fantastic. Just be careful of any edges and watch that rotary tool doesn't catch it. It's the worst noise in the world, and it will chip the paint if you're not careful. So just take your time. And like me, maybe put a bit of black insulation tape around the sharp edge of the yellow tool, because it does help save any damage. But the less coarser the sponge, the softer it is. You can see how much the pink sponge is compressing. But if I wipe this off now with a clean bit of microfiber cloth, look at that roof, look at that shine we've got on that roof. Absolutely beautiful. It really is well worth using these pads. Now we sell these pads over at your ProScale. So you can come over to us and get them. We always have them in stock, and they are well worth using. I avoided using them for years, and I regret it to this day. I really do. Once all the polishing's done, an old toothbrush, I have this one specifically for getting polish out, is go around and clear out any residue and polish from all the panel lines. You'll be surprised just how much collects in there, and the toothbrush is the ideal tool for getting it out. So it's a case of just going it around it until you've got all out, and then give it a polish up with the cloth again. Because you put polish back on the body, you will have to polish it back out. But again, don't skimp this stage, because you'll finish the build, you'll take pictures of it, you'll have horrible powdered white polishing compound in all the panel lines. So try and get rid of it if you can. Now, once we've wiped it all over, we'll take it in the spray booth and we'll load up our cheap Fenger airbrush, which I think I paid about £15 for on Amazon, with fresh water, and make sure it is fresh water and not lacquer thinner. And we're going to jet wash all the panel lines out. So we're literally putting fresh water in the airbrush and just using it as a pressure washer through all the panel lines to jet wash out any of the polish residue. So I would still use your toothbrush as well. As you can see, there we are, we're in the booth. Got water, make sure it is water, don't pick up lacquer thinner by accident, because you'll ruin all your work. And go right up to the panel line and jet wash. And I've found a couple of goes around works well. The first one seems to soften it, and the second one just removes it all out. You will literally see the polish come out before your eyes. And again, a step well worth doing. Once you've done it all, you can go around, cut your wear and dry all the car, and then wipe it down with a clean cloth to dry it all off. And this is the most efficient way of removing all the dust and debris and polish residue from left behind from the polishing process. So just go around everywhere, and like I said, I wouldn't go around again, because the first one seems to soften it, the second one really seems to take it out. Once that's all dry, we're going to paint the interior. We've got some Vallejo model colour black. Now you could mask and paint this, but for what you can see from inside, it's not worth the time doing. If you want to mask it and spray it, by all means do. But you can't really see this. Most of it's hidden by the interior trim, and what you can see is through the glass or a weird angle that you can't really see anyway. So for me, I always just brush paint it. It's water-based Vallejo model colour, so any excess on the 2K will just simply wipe off. It covers really well. Use a nice large flat brush like this one. You'll have it done in no time at all. And then with that done, we can start getting our lights in. Now these are a pain in the butt. They don't fit in. The red parts didn't fit in too bad. So I got those lined up, and then using some Bob Smith Super Gold black, which is the anti-fogging foam safe glue. We can put a couple of dabs of glue around the edge, hit it with some kicker on a micro brush, and that will hold everything in. But the clear parts, they just didn't want to play ball at all. There's locating points for them both, and even properly located, the clear parts, they were just a nightmare. So my advice would be get it in as close as you can, push it home, and then glue it in place. And for what little you can see through those backlights, it doesn't really make a difference. But get your Bob Smith's Gold in there. It doesn't fog the plastic, so it won't go white. And then hit it with kicker for an instant set. Like I say, for what little you can see through the back, it's not really much of a problem. Clear parts. Now, I quite like the clear parts on these. There's a few flaws in the actual plastic, but where it attaches to the body, there's some very positive mounts, which is really nice to see. There's a post each side on the top and bottom. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. And the clear parts literally just slide in place. I wish every single kit had these, because it just makes life so much easier. So line it all up and just carefully push it through. And just belt and braces, there we go. Look, that's in there. I did add a little bit of glue in there just to secure it in place, because I didn't want it to fall out mid installation, nothing worse. So I just put a couple of dabs of Bob Smith's Gold over the top. A couple of dabs over the locators. The capillary reaction will pull that through, and then we get our kicker on our micro brush again to make sure everything looks okay. Just touch it where the super glue is. That will instantly set it. And there we go. Repeat that for the back as well. And then our interior, there's 2 locating points on the back for the interior as well. So again, they just clip over the top, and again we'll secure it with a bit of CA glue, just to make sure, like I say, when we're mid getting the body mounted, nothing falls off. And again, kicker, these micro brushes and the CA kicker from Bob Smith's, absolutely brilliant. And then with the interior at the back, we're going to put a little bit of CA glue at the front, just to stop it springing around everywhere. And again, hit it with some kicker, and that'll help hold that in position. Even though it did move, we get a little bit more in there, and it'll get it this time. Because we've already got the kicker in there, it will dry the glue almost instantly. A little bit more for belt and braces. And there we go. So, firewall, we just butts up to the interior. Now, I think the instructions do tell you to glue it in the interior, but I wouldn't do that myself. I get it all in first, and then just line it up and glue it in place from behind. Probably the easiest way of doing it. These precision tips we sell over a pro scale as well, absolutely invaluable. Much finer than the standard ones, the cheap ones you get off Amazon. They are absolutely beautiful. We've got our grill that we used our pen on earlier. Now that is an enamel paint pen, so you've got to be careful handling it. And this is the chrome bumper that I haven't sealed. So this is our chrome system, just over 2K. Haven't sealed it, and I can handle this enough to put it in place without losing any of the chrome sheen. So yeah, this is definitely something I'll be experimenting with more going forward. And with a couple of dabs of CA glue on the mounting points for these, we can slot this in place like so. Oh, and then we can drop it. Now at this point, be careful you don't start getting CA glue all over your fingers and ruining parts. Very easily done, very easily done. And like I say, a little bit of kicker on the mounting points at the back just to get the glue to set instantly. And there we go, there's our grill and front bumper in place. And now we can mount it. Now, this is actually a very positive fitting body. You just need to spread the sides a little bit to get it to fit in. So slide it all in as much as possible, like so. And then you just might need to just separate one little piece to get it to line up. So I'm just pushing in the engine first. There we go. And we just need to just spread that back piece a little bit. So I'm just going to tweeze it and just gently prise it open. Hate doing this, but you've got to sometimes. And there we go, that'll push right up. Make sure it's slid back where it should be, and it's all sitting flush. There we go. Engine looks good in there. It's a fairly simple engine, but it looks quite good. We've wired it up with our distributor as well, which for some reason I've got no footage of. I'm not quite sure why. But no footage of the distributor today, I've just realised. How silly of me. There we go, a couple of glue points on the locators at the front, and then we can get our front valance in as well. All the exterior parts, the bumpers and the grille and this valance, all very positive fitting on this. There's some quite nice substantial mounting points for them, which is quite a change to see, to be honest. On a lot of the Revel kits and I like, these parts are kind of floating in the air. So really, really nice to see. And then our spoiler in place. I'm still not 100% sure if I got this the right way around. I think I changed my mind here. Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, I'm not happy with that way. It goes that way. So I don't think I committed to glue on this. It's left loose, so I can change it at a later date if I want. And then the headlights. So obviously we pre-chrome the headlights, so literally the headlight lens just pushes in. It's a nice tight fit as well, so it doesn't need any glue. So we literally push that home. And then the wing mirrors, make sure we get the correct side, a little bit of Bob Smith's and a steady hand. We can get those in place. Like so. And the same on this side, just a little bit, you don't need a lot at all. Like I say, these new precision tips we've got at Pro Scale, absolutely fantastic. Not the cheapest at all, but super, super precise. And they get the smallest amount of glue where you need it. And with this not fogging, the Bob Smith Gold is absolutely perfect for these exterior parts. There's our mirrors in place, and then the final touch is we're going to drill out the door locks and put our dressmaker pin heads in as usual. So I'm just using a pin vise bit. This is I don't know what size it is. I just offered it up against the pin and check the size. And we can cut this shorter using our lovely sprue cutters, our wire cutters. And then with a little dab of CA glue, we can pop this in place, and it will, like I said, intimidate then. What's the word I'm looking for? Imitate, that's the one. It will imitate our door locks. Might not be for everyone, I think it works really well. There we go, so one on each side and one on the boot lid as well. Nice simple touch. You can get these from any, I don't know, haberdashery, Amazon I think I got mine for, eBay and the like. There we go. And then the finishing touch are license plates. These are the Zoom on license plates. This is a decal over a photo etch embossed number plate of the same shape. So once you put the decal on and set it in place, it literally looks like a stamped number plate. I love these things. They're fantastic. Again, we sell them over at Pro Scale, and as a finishing touch on these cars, they look excellent. Much better than just your standard decal license plate. They just give that extra 3D dimension. So cut out the applicable PE number plate and the matching decal to go over the top. Normal decal procedure, pop it in place, a little bit of heat, a little bit of decal solutions, and then a little bit of CA glue on the back. We can pop it in place. And there we go, there's our number plate in, and then with a quick test fit of the hood. There we go, we're all done. Final touch is a UMP Show Shine Spray, or UMP Shine Spray, on a very high quality microfiber glasses cleaning cloth, and just rub this on. Now this will dry to a haze and buff off. It's just like a spray wax, it's not abrasive at all. Just need to wipe it on, let it flash off, and wipe it off. This will give us a nice high sheen to our beautiful paint job. And there we go, that is it. So just wipe it over, let it haze up, use a clean part of the cloth to buff it all up. And that is our Dodge Demon done. So yeah, it's turned out alright. It's got a few flaws, the decals being the main one. But there's not much we can do about it. It was a great buddy build to do with the guys as well. And there we go, all polished up to a beautiful high shine. And just a quick go over on our bonnet as well. And there we go, outdoors. This thing's looking good. Absolutely beautiful, deep hemi-orange paintwork. Absolutely lovely clear coat. Very happy. The satin bonnet and boot spoiler look really good. Really happy with these. And yeah, overall, not a bad kit to build at all. The decals really let it down, but other than that, a nice simple kit to build. So if you're looking for a simple American car kit, this is a good one, as long as you don't use the decals. And we've got some photographs as well. So this is my photo booth. So this was primed in, let me see, it was Pro Scale grey primer, several coats of 1970 Hemi Orange from Pro Scale. The kit decals we used, we gave it a dark grey Tamiya panel line wash, Pro Scale paints 2K clear. The interior was anthracite flocking for the carpet, and I think it was jet black leather on the interior. We used the deep black on the bonnet of the boot lid with our satin additive to the 2K as well. The kit wheels were just satin coated for the chrome, and we used the ProScale Paint chrome system on the exterior chrome parts as well. And that was all flatted back with the 3M tri-zip pads and polished up with the Menzana compounds and the Zoom on rotary polishing sponges, and then given a shine with the UMP shine at the end. And this has turned out well. Not a bad kit at all. But we'll go back to me in a minute and have some final thoughts about the build and the quality of the kit. Okay, there we go. All done. So, overall, not a bad kit. Not a bad kit at all. A little bit basic. Not the most detailed engine, not the nicest interior. But for a round 2 repop, it went together relatively trouble-free. Just a couple of aspects of the kit I didn't like. That moulded in rear axle, differential exhaust, leaf spring, not a fan of that at all. While not difficult to paint, just looks a bit naff. And the worst part of this kit, as I've said several times, is the decals. The decals are atrocious. If you're building a kit, don't even bother using them, just chuck them in the bin. Find some different ones at your spares box, or just paint the stripes on. Whatever you're going to do, don't use those decals. They are awful. Trust me. They are terrible. But other than that, not a bad kit to build at all. Not the most motivational build because I know nothing about the kit whatsoever, or the car rather. But nice to do a buddy build with the guys. And nice to get another build off the bench. So there we are. There's another one done and dusted for 2024. Flying through the year. It's going to be Christmas before we know it. As always, got any comments or questions, pop them down below. Make sure you sub to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and leave a comment if you're watching as well. And as I say before, if you want to have access to these videos, there's a Patreon link down below. You can get 3-month early access on the videos. ISM, public ISM, is about 10 builds behind, about 30 videos behind. Patreon's ahead by a long shot, by about 3 months. You can get 10% off a ProScale Paint if you join the applicable tier. You get a bench update every Sunday. There's a Facebook supporter group that you can all post on, share your work, share your purchases, and I go through all that on a Sunday as well, look what everyone's been working on. And there's a Facebook Messenger chat group as well, where there's 70 of us, we all have a chat, and you can ask me questions direct, and nice little community we've got going there as well. And as always, without your support, I couldn't do this. I do this as my day-to-day job, and without the patrons, I couldn't do this. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. So I hope you enjoyed that build series. Stay tuned for the next one. There's loads coming up. The CA Corvette will be next, which is this, which I've just finished today. And that's going to be put up straight to ISM. So you will have seen it already before this video. So yes, we're going back in time a little bit. But there we go. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.